What's going on, guys? So basically today we're going to get all these melee weapons. So we already have the ice axe and the katana, but we're going to try to get the skull crusher, and we're also going to try to get the sledgehammer. So basically I'm going to go over some of the challenges that you have to do to unlock those, and some of them are pretty similar. So like the katana here and the skull crusher, I believe those are the same challenge. So you have to get 5 kills with a melee weapon in a single match 15 times. So I think that was the same thing for the katana. When I was doing the katana challenge, I had a bit of difficulty getting that to unlock because for some reason it didn't track it through all the matches. So I don't know if the same thing will apply to the skull crusher or if it's fixed, because I mean it already shows I have one of them, so it might be just tracking better in general than the katana one did. The ice axe here, it is how you have to unlock that. You have to get 3 kills with a throwing knife in a single match 15 times. So basically you just get throwing knife kills. And then the sledgehammer here, you get a multi-kill with the melee weapon in 15 different matches. So I think that's pretty easy, the challenges. So these are your melee weapons for like the secondary, and this is your primary melee weapon. So I like to run a combat shield on the back. And then if you're doing these challenges, if you already have the ice axe, I would say go for it. But if not, I would just run the fighting knife because, yeah. Also, the ice axe, it can be thrown. But here's the thing. We tested it out, and I'll show you some clips here and kind of show you what was going on. But basically, you cannot progress this type of challenge, like the skull crusher one, if you just use the throwing part of the ice axe. You have to go in and get like the actual melee kills. You can't throw it. So I would be wary of that. If you're used to throwing it too often, I would just run the fighting knife. And also, you have to run that throwing knife. That way you can unlock the ice axe, you know? So if you don't have any of these except the fighting knife, I would run the fighting knife. And then I would run throwing knife. I would run whatever tactical you'd like. And then I'd run a combat shield as your primary. And then set up your perks, however, but I like Serpentine, I like Radar, I like Tactician because I'm trying to get stun kills, that's why I have that. But yeah, it'd make more sense, honestly, to probably run Lightweight or Double Time because those increase your movement speed stuff. So that's what I would do, probably. And yeah, and then all these should progress at about the same rate because this one was, I think, 15 matches, this one was 15 matches, this one was 15 matches, and this one was 15 matches. So basically, if you do it right, it should all end around the same time. So this is just getting a multi-kill. That's not too rough, as you can see, because I'll put in a few matches here that we played and just to give you an idea of how it kind of works and how, like, it should be pretty easy. So I'll show you the matches and that type of stuff. So that multi-kill stuff should be fairly easy because most of the time, if you're playing the ship house, you're going to get smaller matches, smaller maps, you're going to get more people, you're going to get close quarters type stuff, right? So if you get in behind them and spawn, it shouldn't be really that big of a problem to get a multi-kill. And then if you get the katana and the skull crusher, that's just 5 kills of the melee weapon in a match. But we got like 60 kills in a match like a few minutes ago, and so I'll show you that match, or just parts of it. And yeah, so it's not absurd to get 5 kills with the melee weapon. And then the ice axe, you just had to get kills with the throwing knife, so it's not too rough. We're gonna hop in a few matches and we'll try to test out some of these strategies and see how it goes. So right here is 6v6 on shipment, so that should be a decent mode to do this on. Now it's TDM. So TDM doesn't last as long as, say, like domination or a hardpoint match, but it should be enough time. Quite possibly, you might not be able to use the throwing part of the ice axe for that challenge. We're going to double check. Gonna check our progress. I think we got like 13 kills, and those were, you know, I think we had 1 more with thrown, and then like 1 or 2 throwing knife kills. So we should have at least got 5 where we didn't throw it, right? And that did progress it. So from those matches, that's granted a limited trial. It appears that for that challenge, you have to not throw it. So what you're going to want to do for this challenge is probably run your combat shield And then I would honestly, like, if you don't have any of these, just run your fighting knife. If you have the ice axe, sure, but don't throw it every single time. Or if you have the skull crushers, don't throw it every time, because clearly from those two matches, the throwing kills don't count as that type kill. So I would be wary of that and be careful about how often you throw it, and just try to make sure you get 5 kills where you don't throw it. At least 5. I would try to get closer to like 10-ish. So we got 61 kills. Not horrible. Not horrible at all. So yeah, we didn't throw the ice axe much, like at all, and we got that leveled up, and then we also got that one leveled up. So if you do all those at the same time, it should go through pretty quick. Okay guys, so in conclusion, basically, do not use the Ice Axe or Skull Crusher once you unlock it and try to get the kills, you know, for other stuff, because if you throw it, it doesn't count for the challenge progression. So if you are using them, just don't throw it and then expect it to work on the challenge progression. But what I would do is I would just run your melee weapon you get to begin with, so that'd be your fighting knife, and then run a throwing knife, a tactical, pick whichever one you like, run your perks, and then a combat shield, and then you have that on your back so you can't get shot as easily from behind. And yeah, just run that. Try to get the 3 throwing knife kills in a game, and then try to get at least 5 melee kills a match, and then try to get a multi-kill a match. So a multi-kill is anything from a double kill on up. So it shouldn't be too rough. I did all this in about like 15-ish matches after I figured out what I was going to do, because I already had the Ice Axe unlocked from before, because I just used throwing knives like in my other classes. But I tried the throwing knife in like the earlier matches I did on this, and it seems reasonable to be able to get 3 throwing knife kills among the other melee kills and stuff like that. So it doesn't seem too rough. I think I got the multi-kill in like every single match I did when I was trying to unlock this, so it shouldn't be too rough for you. I would just try to run Ship House, because you generally get the matches with more people and it's a smaller map, so it's kind of easier to get the multi-kills because you might run into a group of them, and that should make it pretty easy. So this is how I would do it. This is kind of the strategy I used, and I just unlocked the Skull Crusher and Sledgehammer, and it worked out pretty well. So yeah, let me know if you tried out this strategy in the comments below, if it worked out for you. So yeah, hopefully it works out for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.